Konbanwa, minasan. It's Morgenstern Komnik here. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. And Sax is here as well, saying hi. This video is kind of another convention recap slash swag video. I'm trying to start too loudly because my husband's going to get ready for bed soon. I know, Daddy's got to go to bed. I had the honor of going to Cape Comic Con 2021 and in Cape Girardeau, Missouri at the Drury Plaza Convention Center. It's the second time they've done a convention, the same group of people at this convention center. First one was over the summer for their anime convention. It is nice and still spread out and everything, but I feel that there's still some stuff I miss about the Osage Center where they used to have it. I've had some of their vendors and I kind of talk about it, so it is definitely a nice place, but I know they're trying to figure out the vendor's room situation and everything. So initially what was the plan, what I normally do is I go all 3 days and I stay with my Heroes for Kids family where I do the cosplayer for charity. And they live in Perryville, which is only half an hour away or so. So I stay with them for the weekend and then I help them at their booth. They let me sell my books. I should do really well at the Cape conventions. I didn't get a lot of business at the Anime Con because they had to share a space with some other friends of theirs that do like weapon props and custom cool stuff. There wasn't a lot of room for me. I did a couple sales, but they were in the corner this time and I came in and there wasn't room for me in my books. So I was admittedly disappointed because I wanted to do business and that's what I had prepared for. I mean, I know. I packed my car for it and everything. I mean, life happens, but, you know, still kind of bummed. But I was like, well, I can still help with their table maybe for 2 days, maybe leave early Sunday. See my friends here, see the cosplays. I always love supporting Heroes for Kids, blah, blah, blah. So I go up to Lonnie and Jessica. They're my friends, and them and Dennis, all three of them have founded Heroes for Kids. And they asked me if I wanted to instead be a handler for Skull. And my mind went to wrestling, which I know nothing about because they usually have wrestlers at the Cape conventions and they do like a Saturday night show. So I was kind of like, is that like a wrestler or something? And then they look at me and they're like, no, Skull from the Power Rangers. And then it took a second, my brain lagged because it froze. And then I just freaked out. I was like, oh, what? Oh my God. So the plan initially was that Catherine Sutherland, who was the second Mighty Morphin Ranger, the Pink Zeo Ranger, and the first Pink Turbo Ranger. So come on, baby. She was supposed to be there, but she canceled last minute. I was so busy with work and everything that I didn't have time to check the Facebook updates. So I didn't realize she was gone. I'm like, oh no, she was like the spokesperson for the con. Like the posters were made after her, the shirts. We were doing breast cancer awareness, not because of her, but you know, she was kind of the symbol of that. So I was like, oh no, but Skull from the Power Rangers. If you don't know, Bulk and Skull, they were two of the kind of like comedic school bully characters in Power Rangers. They were in all 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin and in both movies. They were also in all of Zeo, all of Turbo, and all of Space. They were in every season of the Zordon arc. And Skull came back for Samurai, and Skull was in like a cameo. They're also in the comics. So they are, I'm pretty sure, the longest running alumni for many Power Ranger series. And again, they're the school bullies, but you know, they always got their comeuppance. Like they be mean to somebody, and then they run into a wall or something. So I was like, oh my gosh, I get to meet Skull. So that was really exciting. And they said, then told me that, yeah, and then you can maybe help. They kept saying Emily. And I'm like, Emily? Who's Emily? I'm like, is she one of the newer Power Rangers? Because after Operation Overdrive 2007, I kind of quit watching. I watched a little bit of some other ones that have been on Netflix since then, but nothing's overly stuck. So I was really confused. I'm like, I don't know who that is. So they looked her up, and it wasn't Emily, it was Erin. It was Erin Cahill. and I screamed and had to cover my mouth. So Erin Cahill is the actress who played the pink Time Force Ranger, which is the 8th season and my top 3 favorite Power Ranger series of all time, back in 2001. She was one of the first female leaders in any Power Ranger series, and she was tough and beautiful and compassionate, and I just absolutely adored her and adored that series. And she was only going to be there Saturday. She could only make it Saturday. But to meet her just for a day was amazing. And the fact I could be near her and maybe help her was incredible. So my friends were a little concerned I was going to fan out too much. But I didn't. I had to go to Walmart, get some errands for them, got them their lunch before we started the ball rolling for Friday at the start of the con. So I called my friend and I called Derek, my husband, and I freaked out over the phone, and then it was good. So we told Ken, who runs the conventions, Ken, you and your wife and your family and your team are absolutely incredible doing these conventions for 16 years. You just blow me away. So thank you, 1,000 times thank you for all that you guys do. So I went over to the guest table area and I got to meet Jason Narvey. So Jason Narvey is the real name, the actor who played Skull on Power Rangers. And he was the coolest dude. So he was so chill. He said whatever he wanted, but he definitely gauged, like, if there's a little kid around, he wasn't going to be inappropriate. He was super friendly with kids. He said he has 2 young kids of his own, so he knows how to act around them. But, like, if there's a cool guy messing with him, like, he'd mess back. He was telling everybody that he was actually Amy Jo Johnson. I can't repeat some of the stuff he said. But he knew his audience. He's so talented. Like, I mean, I always knew he was talented to be able to do those stunts and just the comedic timing that Bulk and Skull had. I mean, it takes somebody with real talent to act like a goofball all those years. And he said he actually, he didn't have any official acting training, but he was trained in Shakespeare. That's what he wanted to do. So I thought that was really ironic. But I got to learn a lot of behind the scenes stuff about him. He was good walking around, entertaining himself. But I was happy to take care of him. I learned really quickly he was one of those people that you have to jest with, or it'd sound like he's being mean to you, although he's teasing because he likes you. I have another friend like that named Samurai Dan. So it took me a couple hours after my heart was trying to calm down. I'm like, oh, this is this guy's angle. So I would kind of, still nicely, but, kind of dish it back. I think he respected that. So we had a lot of good banter together. And by the end, we were taking selfies together, and he gave me several hugs at the end, and our official picture is really funny. So I wanted to do a heart with him. I had all planned. And he's like, that's not how you don't do that. That's not how you make a heart. He said, so in Japan, you're supposed to do it like this because that's more of the size of your heart. But this is how a human heart acts lately. So he's trying to teach me how to do this. And then Jay, one of the other assistants, snapped the picture. So I look a little confused in the shot, but that's okay. So that was great. I had a She-Ra shirt on because I was going to cosplay as She-Ra on Friday, but they figure I might be running around. I was really hot moving stuff, so I changed out of that shirt. Luckily, I brought an extra Power Ranger shirt. Not like, I literally own 18. You guys saw the t-shirt video. So, yeah, so there's that. Saturday, I got to premiere a new cosplay I was super excited about. It was my dream childhood cosplay, and ironically, it was the pink Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. So, if I would have got to work with Catherine Sutherland, we would have really matched. But it was custom made for me. I think it fits me good, except for the belt, but Jessica came in with the Velcro rescue and helped me with the belt. The helmet was the most expensive thing. It was like $300. I have my communicator, I have my morpher, I have the custom made boots, which only were $35, which really is good. And they actually fit really well. They're for slightly high heel boots, very slight. I got a lot worse. So props to E to Z cosplay for that. The bow and arrow I got off a really awesome place on Etsy. It's wooden and they painted it. So I think it's 40 if you just want a plain wooden design one. I got the full custom, like custom paint and like a shimmer, so it looks glossy. It was like 55 plus shipping. And then they gave me a free wooden pink Power Ranger coin, which was really cool. They were super, super awesome to work with. If I can find the name, I will send you guys the link in the description below. So look for that. And then I got on eBay an official Power Ranger blaster gun toy because I couldn't hardly find any fake ones, but the two times I did, I missed them. They were just a little more expensive than actually having the vintage toy. And the toy worked. It was scuffed up a little bit, but nothing terrible. And I keep it in my holster. I don't get out that often. So I'm like, I'd rather have the custom toy for nostalgic reasons because I never got to have it growing up. So that's what I did. I think it was like 24-ish bucks, which really isn't bad for a toy that was made in like 1993. That still works. So there's the pew 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 pew. If I sat wrong in the holster, it would start like really quietly. And I was like, oh my God, kind of embarrassing. The big thing happened with the helmets. So I tried on the costume Thursday night and I tried the helmet. I walked around a little bit. I was trying to figure out how long, how I need to adjust the helmet, how I needed to breathe with the helmet. I got one of those things that you wrap around your forehead and your face. It could go up all the way to your mouth, but I was able to pull it down. It was annoying to get on and off effectively, but I knew in the long run that would be the easiest way to protect my head or my hair from getting caught from the helmet, because it's like almost like a resin type material. It looks really good, but it's not. It would be more like a prop, even though it has the clasp where I can't. I'm supposed to be able to wear it, and it cost me the bulk of the money and shipping. But yeah. So anyway, we had to move tables. Most of the guests had 8-foot long tables, and we had to move them to 6 foot so we could squeeze Aaron Cahill, the Time Force Ranger, in for the day. Okay. And that was an ordeal. The hotel guys, these gentlemen who are walking in the convention center, making sure we were good. They were dressed to the nines. They were fantastic. They're just wonderful, wonderful guys. So thank you all for all your help and being just such gentlemen. Like we loved when they would come and stop, and we talked to them every time they walked around a couple minutes. So you guys are awesome. So I highly recommend the jury and staff for everything they did for us. So as we were moving the tables, and Ken, the concierge, was trying to figure out, where everything would go to make Miss Cahill comfortable. I had my helmet on the chair very carefully. I even stuffed something in it. But a helmet is partly circular, so it started to roll, and it didn't have a long fall, like maybe like 2 feet, and it was on carpet, and it made this really light thud, like barely anything. And it was enough to chip the side of my helmet where the clasp was. Yeah, so $300 for that. And my friend who does Iron Man, he dresses up, he looks like Tony Stark. He does like custom figures and displays and stuff. He's real sweet. He came over and looked at it and said, yeah, you can't use regular hot glue. There's a special glue you can use for resin. So I'm going to get with him later and figure out what I can do, because it's right on the clasp. So I could put it on because the other clasp still works, but I didn't want to risk cutting myself. I also didn't want kids to try to grab it. So what I did most of the day is either put it on the edge of the table for like a decoration, because Skull started a Mighty Morphin. I was dressed in a Mighty Morphin. Or for pictures, I would hold it under my arm, because especially in seasons 2 and 3, they would go to the command center, still be in full costume, take out their helmets to talk to Zordon real quick, and they would hold their helmets. So I thought that made sense. I mean, it's not quite what I wanted. I didn't want to walk around wearing it all the time, but I thought it would be cool for a picture. So maybe if I can fix it, I can do that. If not, it just might have to be a really, really expensive, careful prop. Because I'm not buying another one. But I loved being my childhood hero. It was so much fun. I just absolutely loved it. So I hope you guys liked my cosplay. I saw several little girls jumping up and down, and little boys take pictures with me. I had like 4 people try to give me money because they thought I was either Erin Cahill or I was Kimberly. I was actually Amy Jo Johnson. And I was like, I would love to take your $40 to sign something for you, but I am not the celebrity. And I had several people like, wow, you look like Amy Jo. And I'm like, man, that is the biggest compliment because she is my idol. Like, oh my gosh, I want to meet her so bad. I'd probably cry. Uh, not on the outside, but oh, I just adore her. She was the first female I grew up with that showed me that girls can be beautiful and strong. And because I was 4 when the show came out. And I love Trini too. Trini really taught me a lot about compassion as well. So bless her soul. So yeah, and Erin Cahill came in, and she had a long line, but she was so sweet and so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she's breathtaking. And Jay, her handler for the day who helped with the con, he was real cool. He's a middle school sped teacher, so we got to talking about stuff when they would go do their little wandering. They had like a lunch date together, so we had a little downtime and everything. But oh, it was great. There's an artist at the con who actually had to do a print in 24 hours to prepare for her because we only had a couple days notice that she could make it because we originally had the prints for Catherine Sutherland, the first Pink or second Pink Ranger, not Erin Cahill, the Time Force Ranger, but he made it and they're stunning. And I already bought like this big old package to meet Catherine, so I just transferred over to Erin, which was really great. So I appreciated that as well. And Jason Narvi's prices were really reasonable. It was 40 for a picture, 40 for an autograph, 60 for a combo. I had his whole spiel down. I was kept convincing people left and right to get combos, and he's just like, how are you doing this? They don't want to they don't get a picture with old me. And I was like, hey, man, I'm a teacher and I promote stuff. I mean, because I write. I mean, and I got to do some promoting with other authors at the con I didn't know. A lot of people were interested in my book. I did pass out probably 12 or so cards. I got hopefully some people interested. So that's pretty cool. But Erin was so sweet. Like I said, her lines were really long. She was only there Saturday. But I finally got time with her. And we got the cutest little picture of us both doing our arms like this. And then she has her other arm around me. And we're like, Jay made us laugh. So he got us mid-laugh, like leaning, laughing. But we're still posing. And it's really adorable. So I'm really happy with how the picture turned out. And I told her just how just graceful and strong she was. And that she's the reason as a kid I wanted a leather jacket. Because she pulled it off in the show so well. And she was wearing a red leather jacket. Like a little, like a fashionable one there. And she's like, oh my gosh, you are such a doll. And she gave me a hug. And her and Jason both kept trying to buy us coffee. And we're like, no, we're here to help you. But I'm so glad I got to meet her Saturday. So she was wonderful. So I got to be near her, which was great. And still help Jason. Jason's a riot. So Friday, it's getting really late. The con was free to 9 p.m. and he was getting real hungry. It was like 7:45. We're not supposed to bring food into the hotel because they have like a restaurant or concession or something. But he's just like, somebody kept mentioning ribs, and he's just like, God, I want ribs. And I'm like, do you want me to go get your ribs? And apparently there was a Bonanza's, which I'm not a big barbecue rib person. It was like a quarter of a mile up the road. And he's like, really? I hate to do that to you. And I said, oh, no. I said, I'd be delighted to. And he's like, well, I can go. I said, no, sir. So he gave me some money. And he said, well, I'll go if you get something. And I was pretty hungry. I've been munching on Gardettos most of the day. But I didn't want him to feel obligated because it was my job to take care of him. And I said, oh, no, sir. I said, no, let me go. And he said, if